Look at this workspace. It's late on a Tuesday in a typical tech company, and the code review queue is slipping. Senior engineers are waving pull requests through just to clear their own workloads. And the subtle bugs, the ones that cost you a weekend incident 3 quarters from now, are quietly slipping into production. So a proposal lands on your desk. It's clean, logical, and right out of a management textbook. Offer a small quarterly cash bonus for engineers who hit a specific code review quality bar. You want more of a behavior, so you assign a reward to it. For the first 3 weeks, the numbers look miraculous. The queue empties out, the pull requests clear smoothly. You update your presentation deck, privately pleased with your own operational genius. You fixed the thing everyone was complaining about. But the data is hiding a psychological shift that just took place underneath those metrics. The engineers hit that review bar, but they suddenly stop mentoring the junior developers. Mentoring has no payout attached to it. Watch the effort lines. Before the bonus, your best people exceeded this mark out of professional pride. Now, those lines drop down to exactly hit the target and stop, because anything above that bar is unpaid work. What you've actually done is take a moral behavior, acting like a reliable teammate, and put a price tag on it. And assigning that price acts exactly like a mechanical ratchet. It clicks forward and it permanently locks the new dynamic into place. Behavioral economists like Urignisi emphasize that an incentive is a message. It defines the specific nature of the transaction taking place. Take the famous experiment at a set of daycare centers in Israel. Parents kept picking up their kids late, so the centers introduced a financial fine. The logic was standard: price the bad behavior, get less of it. Instead, late pickups rose sharply. The fine failed because it replaced a free moral deterrent with a cheap commercial fee. Before the fine, showing up late meant breaking an unspoken promise to a teacher. That guilt was effective, and it was free. Once the fine existed, parents simply ran the math and decided to buy the extra time. When the centers eventually scrapped the fine, the lateness didn't fall back. The guilt never returned. Once a behavior has been priced, the moral version does not come home. You cannot unring the bell. There is a second, even louder way these incentives fail. It happens when you pay for a metric that only stands in for your real goal. The people hitting these metrics aren't being cynical. They are highly competent professionals doing exactly what you asked. In the NFL, defensive players are sometimes paid bonuses for individual sacks. The team's actual goal is for that player to hold a designated defensive lane. The player is incentivized to abandon their lane to chase the quarterback. They successfully hit their personal target. They get the bonus, and the team's defense leaks. The corporate equivalent is even more destructive. Consider the interior of a typical bank branch. For years, Wells Fargo executives wanted to measure customer trust, and they decided the best proxy for trust was cross-selling, getting customers to open multiple accounts. The branch staff were highly competent. Since you cannot force a customer to trust you, they manufactured the proxy. They opened roughly 3 million fake accounts that customers never asked for, perfectly serving the target while completely burning down the actual trust they were supposed to build. The economist Charles Goodhart summarized this perfectly decades ago. When a measure becomes a target, it stops being a good measure. People will flawlessly execute the proxy at the direct expense of the goal it was standing in for. Now, there is an obvious objection to all of this. Pay for performance is ubiquitous, and we know it reliably works in specific named scenarios. When the auto glass company Safelite switched its installers to a piece rate, paying per windshield fitted, productivity rose by more than 40%. No gaming, no culture collapse. In the mid-1990s, Continental Airlines fixed their abysmal on-time performance by offering a flat, company-wide bonus to every employee for any month they ranked in the top 5. The planes started leaving on time. These successes do not invalidate the ratchet effect. Instead, they reveal a strict dividing line in how human motivation processes targets. This diagram breaks down that dividing line into 3 distinct columns. Let's look at the first, the whole job. The Safelite windshield is a perfect example. A fitted windshield is the entire deliverable. Hitting the number requires doing the actual work, and one installer's output doesn't come at a teammate's expense. In this column, pay works. But watch what happens when we move to the middle column, the proxy. This is your Wells Fargo account metric, or the NFL SAC. It's a number that a smart person can easily hit while actively betraying the overarching goal it stands for. Paying for a proxy guarantees you will get exactly the proxy and nothing else. And finally, we have the fatal category, identity. This is the mentoring, the code review, the covering of a tough shift. When you assign cash to these behaviors, you permanently swap a strong internal fuel for a weak external one. And when that external fuel dries up, the gauge drops to zero and locks. This is exactly why management frameworks like OKRs explicitly warn leaders to keep goal setting completely separated from compensation. The moment you tie the cash to the goal, people stop setting honest targets and start gaming the numbers to ensure a payout. Before you sign off on your next bonus structure, take a hard look at the behaviors you get from your team today, purely because of who they want to be. Because the moment you convert unprompted excellence into a line item, you need to be absolutely certain you can afford to lose the free version forever.